in reconstructive, all areas, as well as aesthetics, which means your facelifts, your breast augmentations, your body contouring, true training, and board certification. In fact, that's the only board certified area that can be achieved in this realm.
Dr. Justin Heller, warm, understanding, always available for guidance because he's local. HellerPlasticSurgery.com.
Life's not meant to feel complacent. It's meant to make you feel alive. The youth ministry at the Church on the Way Santa Clarita believes that students can belong to the group where we will help them believe they have a purpose in Christ and become all that He has created them to be. We want to see God's power come alive in our generation. We love meeting new people, so come hang out with us. Doors open at 6 p.m. and service starts at 7 every Wednesday night. For more information about the Church on the Way Santa Clarita, including service times and what's happening through the end of the year, visit tcotwsc.org.
You can now find your hometown station all over social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, we're on it. Pinterest, YouTube, even Snapchat. KHTS even has apps for your Apple and Android phones. Plus, you can get email and text alerts on our homepage on the website. We're all over the place. You can link up to everything by going to hometownstation.com/social. It's that easy. hometownstation.com/social.
Hey there, I'm Tori with your hometown station weather. Mostly sunny this week with highs in the low to mid 90s, overnight lows in the upper 60s. Save the date for the SCV Chamber Latino Business Alliance Gala, Saturday, September 8th at 6 p.m. at the Newhall Family Theater for the Performing Arts. For more information, go to scvchamber.com. And for all things Santa Clarita Valley related, go to hometownstation.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Good afternoon, Santa Clarita. This is Jesus Henao of Leola Commercial. Welcome to the Commercial Hour. Be in the know your city. If you're thinking about owning or selling in apartments, industrial buildings, or shopping center, you're in the right place. We talk commercial real estate. Live the American dream. Put on your jersey, sweatband, and get in the game. We're here every Monday from 12 to 1 here at KHTS AM 1220, FM 98.1. Exciting, man. It's been nonstop, let me tell you guys, for the last week. As you can see, I have three beautiful ladies surrounding me, and these, I'm responsible for them. So I have my two daughters, Isabella and Emma, and my wife, Carolina, which was on the show previously. So why are they here? What are we doing here? Is it a commercial real estate show? What's your family doing here? Well, we're not talking because they benefit from the commercial real estate, but today I am proud to announce that I will be running. They're here to support me because I'm running for the Saugus District School Board Trustee Area Number 1. That's over there by Tesoro de Valle. And I brought them in here just to support me and to announce my candidacy here on the show. So a lot of you guys that listen to the show out there know a little bit about me. But just a recap, I want to give you a little more information again. Once again, I'm a U.S. Marine. I served in the Persian Gulf War. I graduated and from one of the top schools, well, at least in California, I say, USC. Kyle's looking at me like, ah.
Yeah, it's subjective.
Depends who you ask, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Depends who you ask.
I know. The thing is, we judge the credibility of school by how many championships is won in the football program. That's how we judge a school. Anyways, so accomplished real estate broker here in Santa Clarita. I've sold probably over $200 million worth of commercial real estate in my last 24 years. I'm a proud, again, father and husband of these two beautiful girls and my son who goes to Utah Valley University in Utah. And some of my goals for the school district are, number one, child campus safety, prevention with drugs and alcohol education, technology for higher learning, cybersecurity, first-class learning facilities, teacher empowerment, and finally, honesty, integrity, and teamwork and accountability for our district. Teachers empowerment. You know, it's Kyle and family. I was yesterday doing some photo shoots, and was Sunday after my long, busy day at church and helping people. and I'm at Bridgeport Elementary. And I'm in front of the campus. I'm there with my photographer. We're taking pictures, and I see the parking lot is full. And I'm wondering, what is going on? Why is the parking lot full on a Sunday? It's 6:30, and I'm wondering, what is going on? Why is the parking lot full? And I see a teacher come out. I see some lady come out of the building. I'm like, well, that's strange. Sunday, there's a teacher coming out? What's that all about? So I stop her, and I ask her, I won't say her name, and I ask her, what's going on? How come you're here? It's Sunday. And she says, well, I'm preparing the classroom. I'm like, on a Sunday? She's like, yeah. So I asked her, are you getting paid for this? She says, no, I'm not getting paid for this. And I said, well, that's interesting, and you're taking time off to do this. I said, well, how long does it take to prepare the classroom? She said, it takes about a week to 2 weeks for all the stuff we have to do to get the classroom ready, boards, all the materials ready. And I said, wow. And she says, and by the way, we only get paid for 1 day to do this. And then tomorrow we have training. So this teacher has taken time out of her schedule or her day of rest on Sunday, and she's fixing the classroom for these students. So I'm like, wow, that shouldn't be like that. You should have a whole week to prepare. You should be paid for this. And it was very, very interesting. And then we talked a little bit more about what happens. I always hear this a lot because the teachers are always asking, hey, can you donate paper? Can you donate supplies, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm thinking, well, we live in such an affluent area. How come we don't have, how come these teachers don't have the things that they need to teach our students? And she said, yeah, we need markers, crayons, paper. And then I asked her, who pays for this? And she says, well, I pay for it out of my own pocket. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, that these teachers have to come out of pocket. And, well, it makes total sense because they're always asking us for money. But anyway, so these are some of the things that I want to do for our school district, for the Saugus School District, our elementary schools. And I brought my daughters in as character witnesses, I could say.
I don't think you're on trial, but maybe you are now.
Well, they told me when you run a campaign, it's almost like being on trial. So let me see. Who wants to start first? Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny. Okay, no. How should I say? Pick a number from 1 to 10, Isabella. No, Emma. What number 1 to 10?
Who's oldest? I think you got
Isabella's the oldest.
You got to do the eldest first,
Yeah, the
right?
oldest.
She was born first.
I thought I escaped that trick.
I have a trick.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, it was kind of sad because he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be running for the school board," and I was like, "Yes! Oh my gosh, I can have it easy for the rest of my school year. I can't believe it." And then he's like, "No, I'm running for the Saugus School Board." So. She's
a sophomore at Valencia High School, and she's on color guard. So just a little thing about her. She's
I'm the president of the conservative club at my school too.
So I think she's the one that should be running.
Yeah,
Look at this.
Well, yeah, like I said, I was kind of sad that he wasn't running for the Hart School District Board because I was like, man, it'd be so easy because he puts something to his mind and he gets it done. And sometimes it's scary how hard he fights for it. Seriously, like.
That's some Marine Corps training.
Oh yeah, you can.
I didn't tell you in the morning when at 5:30 the alarm goes off. And everybody's standing at attention next to their bed, and I come and check them out.
Oh,
see what
my
they're
gosh.
doing. I'm just joking. I don't do that.
Do that. Come on.
Only me.
Get ready, Saugus Union.
No.
I used to do that. I used to go in the room, and I had the Reveille song, they play in the Marine Corps, and I had a little speaker, and I'd walk in, and I'd turn it on, and it'd go on. Da, 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 da,
Your kids seem like they love that. It seems like they love that. Yeah.
I would tell my tagline was Reveille, Reveille. It's another glorious day in the Marine Corps. And they open their eyes like, Dad, what are you doing?
Dad, leave me alone.
That's how I wake up my friends on school trips.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, so he does help out a lot, and I notice like when you see him from the outside, he's kind of like this big tough guy and scary. But when you get to know him more, you see that he's just trying to make a difference in this world and make things better. He sees an issue, and he's not afraid to call it out for how it is. If he sees that something is wrong, he'll say, "That's wrong," and he's not afraid to tell you to your face. Sometimes it seems really rude, but we need that straightforward trait. in the districts, and that's what I don't see a lot with like people in the school board. I know that they're really like ominous about things, and he's not afraid to be out there. Like
I'll give her the $20 later, baby. Okay, thank you.
A Disneyland trip.
Disneyland trip.
Emma, okay, so that's Isabella. She's very excited. I love her. And then we have Emma Nicole Henao. Our beautiful girl. We love her. She's awesome. And she currently attends Rio Norte Elementary, and she does very well there.
And remember, she was in Tesoro del Valle, so she's an alumni in Tesoro del Valle, which is
right.
one of the schools that is under
down the
Saugus.
block. Yeah. Thank you, Mommy. See, I
you
can't
go.
go wrong with this
Good
family.
for- Yeah, this is the crew.
Call Tesoro out,
That's your
Emma.
campaign manager making it known right there.
She keeps me in line.
Call them out.
So, Emma, tell us a little bit about Tesoro. How did you like that school? Because we transferred into that school, and Emma was a little bit like, I don't know about this school, and, it's different. How was it? How did you like it?
Well, it was definitely an interesting school. I definitely feel like there was room for improvement. Like, there's a ton of things that I noticed that could have been done better, but Tesoro overall was a really great school. But again, I feel like my dad has that ability to push it forward to its max and to its greatest ability as a school. And I know that, like what my sister said, that he's definitely determined, and once he sees a task, he'll do everything that he can possible to reach that goal. And I've seen personally through different experiences and different things that happen in my life and that I've seen around the people that I live with, and he's just a great guy. I love my dad so much.
I love my baby too. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Emma. You want to say something?
Oh, no.
Baby?
I don't know what else to say.
You're the one that's put up with this guy for what, the last 17 years?
So the
18 years?
suffering, the agony. No.
Oh, by the way, I do have one more son too, but he's out working, like I said.
Doesn't love us.
No, he doesn't love us.
No,
He does love
he's
us,
really
but-
sad that he couldn't make it today, especially because it is another different personality than all of us. We are a little more hyped. He's more calm, so he's a little different. But it's also wonderful because all the colors of the rainbow, right? Mm-hmm. Well, Jesus has served as a bishop in our congregation, which is located here in New Hope for many months. And I know that he doesn't want to bring this up, but I think it's pertinent right now. Because what happened is I've seen him serve. So the girls are excited and the potential and how tough he is and how can he be doing and when he puts his man on it, yeah. But I've seen him serve with no anything for him. He gives freely of his time, of the time with his family, just to make a place better. And he works with a deprived community in New Hall. It's not like he's working with the affluent areas of Stevenson's Ranch or anything. He works with the immigrant, with the kids, with the need, the people that really require. And I've seen him sacrifice so much for them. So I know that when you are doing an opinion of character, you try to think, well, what is in this for him? And we actually have no idea what is in this for him. Because there's nothing that is going to be favorable for our family. It's actually sacrificing time, sacrifice as a family, only because we want to serve, only because we want to help our community. Because we feel this calling within our family in which if we have been blessed, we want to give back. And that's why we are standing right here with him, just to tell everybody that's listening, that we do vouch for him as a man of integrity, as a man of character, as the faithfulness to his family, to what he sees, what we have witnessed, sacrifice and everything. And we know that he can do and bring the same energy and the same ability and love for the people and to the kids for New Hope. He's very concerned about. We discuss it, of course. I'm the unofficial campaign manager, as you were saying, and we just discuss of the issues. So we're very concerned about the drug problem that we're having in the school district and how we can address it at the very elementary level and see maybe we can do some type of help to give empowerment to the teachers and also to the parents and how to help with this disease. Also, like what we were discussing about the teacher and like this inability that they have to utilize resources in a better way. Also, all the things and developments and everything into the schools. We know that he can do a great job. So that's why we're here and then say, we support you. Come on, you're going to do a great job.
Well,
that's it.
And thank you, baby, and thank you, my beautiful girls. I love you guys so much. And they're my reasons for being. And I ask myself, I've always liked politics. I've always liked being involved in doing things. And I think either you're born with that or you're not. And I feel my grandfather in Colombia, South America, he's very involved with politics. And I hear the stories. Growing up, I hear the stories of my grandfather. I did meet him. He passed away when I was about maybe 8 or 10 years old. And my mom, growing up, would always tell me stories about him. As a matter of fact, I was at my mom's house last night, and she was telling me about my grandfather. And it was just amazing because she would say, so-and-so, she would hear, so-and-so needs help. Grandfather would be there, boom, help him out. Next day, problem resolved. He was instrumental in helping a lot of poor people, helping people better themselves. He was helpful in building the airport in Pereira, where they were from in Colombia. And I hear all these stories growing up, and I'm like, wow, that always interested me. And I remember going to Colombia one time, and I saw him. And to me, he was larger than life. And what I remember is it was a December. We're spending Christmas there. And I'm like, okay, where's my grandfather? Where's my grandfather? All of a sudden, I see my grandfather come in the house. And my grandmother had 14 kids. So this is a large family.
It's no joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm there. We're from the States. We're there. Okay, want to see Grandpa. And here comes Grandpa. Comes in the house with food galore, with a pig. Because it's tradition.
Carnitas, man.
Yeah. It's tradition. It's a tradition to,
Where you're from? Where I'm from, no. But, and it's the same country, right?
So, for you think as a 10-year-old kid, and I'm seeing, what's going on here? What's this pig? The pig, they're bringing him in through the house. He's tearing up the wood floor. And I'm like, wow, what's this all about? And they put him in the back, and I'm like, and everybody's hugging Grandpa. Everybody's, we're so happy to see him. They're hugging him, and I'm like, wow. Family, this is amazing. And those are just some great experiences. So I cherish family, and when I think of family, I think of elementary. That's what it should be. The kids should have a great opportunity. The family should be strong, and the parents should be involved. The teachers should be involved in decision making of the kids, and it's just awesome. So leading up, how did I make this decision? I always wanted to run. The time was just not right yet. There went through a lot of things. Like I said, my dad was a baker, my mom was a welder, and we grew up with humble means, and I've been fortunate, I've been blessed to be able to join the Marine Corps, attend USC, and build my own business, and I'm very fortunate, and I'm blessed. And a couple of months ago, I was listening to a conference at church, and one of the leaders came out and said, if you have the ability to serve your community, if you have the ability to help, if you have the ability to go out and make a difference, we need honest, good people to run for office. Whether it's funny, he said school board first,
he said,
and then political office, et cetera, et cetera. And I looked over at my wife because she knows I've always had this idea. I looked at her,
because we were discussing it that morning.
We were
remember?
Discussing, yeah. And I look at her. And I say, baby, I think that's the answer to our prayers, or the Lord is pushing us to make that decision. I look at her, and she says, yeah, it's time to do it. Aww. So after I consulted with her, she's the real decision maker.
Campaign manager. It's officially decision maker. It's now officially campaign manager. Exactly. She has a new title. Yeah.
And so we made a decision there. We felt it was right, and here we are. And I'm hoping to make a difference. I'm hoping that I'll run a strong campaign, an honest campaign. And like my children and my wife said, I'm the guy that's focused. When I put my mind to something, it's either get out of my way or get on board. And that's just the way I do things. And that's not to be bad. That's just the way it is. That's the way my mindset is. I think you can thank the Marine Corps for that.
Isn't it like the one where it's like if there's a wall, just punch?
Yeah, if there's if the doors of opportunity don't open for you, build your own wall, or punch through the wall. Yeah, exactly. Punch the wall, yeah. Alrighty, so that's it. Once again, this is the Commercial Hour. This is Jesus Henao of Leola Commercial. We talk real estate, but we're talking a little bit about the school board this morning and the difference we're going to make. Up next, we have we're going to switch over to real estate. I want to take the opportunity to just announce my candidacy. But next hour, we have Hami Gabayan of Capital Trust Escrow. And he's my go-to guy on escrow needs, so he's going to call in, and we'll talk a little bit about escrow. Once again, this is Jesus Henao, the Commercial Hour on the hometown station, KHTS, 1220 AM, 98.1 FM.
Have you got a young one who's always on the go? Ice Station Valencia has an incredible program. Our Little Tykes hockey program for ages 3 to 6 makes it easy and affordable to introduce your child to the awesome sport of ice hockey. We provide most of the hockey gear for free to get started, including shoulder pads, elbow pads, gloves, and jersey. You'll be amazed at how quickly your child takes to the ice. Call 775-8686 or skate to the net, www.icestation.net.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign, next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
You can now find your hometown station all over social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, we're on it. Pinterest, YouTube, even Snapchat. KHTS even has apps for your Apple and Android phones. Plus, you can get email and text alerts on our homepage on the website. We're all over the place. You can link up to everything by going to hometownstation.com/social. It's that easy. hometownstation.com/social.
Did you know that SCVI has the only International Baccalaureate program in our community? That means that students at Santa Clarita Valley International Public Charter School can participate in very rigorous classes run by highly trained and skilled international teachers. They work with kids to become active, compassionate, and lifelong learners. Students with IB diplomas at select colleges can graduate with a full year credit at their university. Schedule a tour today online at scvi-k12.org or by calling 705-4820.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign, next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
Santa Clarita's hometown station. Hometown station.
KHTS AM 1220 and the new 98.1 FM.
Good afternoon. Once again, you are in the Commercial Hour. This is Jesus Henao, Leola Commercial, and we talk commercial real estate. Know your city, live the American dream. And I'd like to thank my wife and kids that took the time out of the day to come hang out with me for a couple of minutes. Very interesting. After the show was over, my daughter says, I asked them, would you like to stay in? And they're like, no, we want to go school shopping. Let's go school shopping, Mom. So as you can see, they're not, well, if you're watching on Facebook Live, they're not here because they're out spending my hard-earned money. Anyways, we have online right now Hami Gabayan. He's a senior escrow officer and owner of Capital Trust Escrow. A little bit about Hami is he holds an undergraduate degree from UCLA and a graduate degree from Loyola Marymount. He has earned a well-deserved reputation as one of the premier escrow officers in Los Angeles. Hami has 10 years of experience in the escrow field. His mantra is, win them with superior customer service. Has been a key to Hami's success in business. He handles escrows in commercial, apartment buildings, residential income, and residential properties. In addition, he has 10 years experience in handling 1031 exchanges, which we had a couple of weeks ago. We talked about that. Tax-deferred exchanges and reverse exchanges. In addition to all that we just heard, he is my go-to guy for the last 5 years on escrows. I can truly vouch for his win them with superior customer service mantra. He's helped me out so much. And we have online right now Hami Gabayan, Capital Trust Escrow. Hello, Hami. How are you?
Hello, Jesus. Hello. Thank you very much for having me on the air.
You're gonna owe me $20 for that intro too.
let me tell you, I'm going to apply it towards your campaign fund. Congratulations. I'm so happy that you're running for superintendent. I think you're going to do an amazing job. I've known you for many years, and just the experience that I've had with you, you are a stand-up guy. I couldn't be more proud of you, and the people in the area, the students, are just going to do so well because they're going to have an honest guy that is going to really work for everyone and not for himself. Unlike a lot of politicians, unfortunately, you are the total opposite, and you work for the people. And you don't have to do this, and I appreciate that you are doing this because you have a good heart, and you've always been very loving, and you've always been a man of passion. And with the training that you got for the Marines has been an absolutely perfect stepping stone for you to be able to accomplish whatever you want.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it, and I'm actually running for the governing board of the for the district.
Oh, please forgive me. You'll be
superintendent, not yet.
President. You'll be great at doing anything you put your mind to, whatever you want to do. People will be very lucky.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And if you guys want information on escrows and advice, or you have an escrow coming up and you need to get some good recommendations and help, you can reach Hami at capitaltrustescrow.com. Once again, that's capitaltrustescrow.com, or at the office at 310-273-0100. Once again, 310-273-0100. Perfect. So, Hami, let's talk a little bit about how escrows work. So I'm the broker. I just put an apartment building together. The buyer has signed the contract. The seller has signed. Everybody's in agreement. They have $250,000 burning a hole in their pocket. What do we do next? How does escrow work?
Well, it's a great question. It's kind of a hub in a sense, where escrow is a place where you go where you funnel all the information in and out of. So what we do, once we get the purchase agreement, we review it. We'll order a title policy to get a copy of all the recorded and maybe unrecorded items that are against the property, so we know what we're working with, because we will be responsible for clearing any liens and encumbrances on the property during the process.
Yeah, that's important. Title policy. We had Jim Medina, also a Trojan.
He's excellent.
Excellent guy. And actually, I know Hami through Jim Medina with Fidelity National Title.
Yeah.
We had him on probably a month and a half ago. We talked a little bit about title, but what Hami is talking about, encumbrances and liens on the property, it could be apartment owner had some guy do the roof work, and for some reason there was a fallout, and the person that did the roofing contractor puts a lien. It's called a mechanics lien on the property because he did the work. For some reason the seller didn't pay, or there was a dispute, and he puts a mechanics lien. So that encumbers the property. So before it sells, that has to be removed. So either there's got to be it's got to be worked out, or something's got to happen to remove that. And that's what Hami's talking about on the encumbrances and liens. So a part of escrow, I guess you would say, is making sure that when the property transfers from one owner to the other, there's no encumbrances, there's nothing against the property, it's nice and clean, correct?
Correct.
Perfect, and that's what we do. So after that, you pull the title and you look at it, and then what happens next? What do we do with the money, the $250?
Well, we get an initial deposit based on what the agreement says. On the first page, it says it's usually 3% of the total sales price.
Mm-hmm.
We send out encrypted wiring instructions. Now, the question is, how do you get money into escrow? There's a couple ways. One is you get a check, which is the old school way. They don't do that really anymore as much. Another way is to send a wire. You would ask your bank to send a wire to the escrow company, because you need to have a little skin in the game when you start getting into escrow. And recently, there are a lot of good things about emails. We love them. We have a lot of benefits to them. Little drawback on them, I just want to kind of give the public a little, caution. It's always good practice that that the buyer that is getting the wiring instructions, they don't get it from the agent. They don't get it from Jesus. They don't get a regular email from escrow. They have to get secure wiring instructions. It's good practice to make sure that the buyer money is protected by getting that secure wiring instructions, they have to do is they get the email. It'll direct them to go on a website to get a passcode, and you come back to the website and you open up the email. That way you know there's no interruption from escrow to the buyer, because we don't want some third party hacking in and putting in their own wiring instructions, and no one will know because it's going to look like it's coming from escrow, and the buyer unknowingly will send the money to another bank, which is the criminal. I'll call them criminals.
Absolutely. You know, it's funny you say that, because there's an orthodontist here in Santa Clarita, a good friend. He's treated done work for my kids, and he purchased an office building out here in Santa Clarita, and they took him for, I think it was almost $2 million.
Oh, God, it breaks my heart.
He was fortunate. He was lucky that he was able to recuperate most of the money. I would say,
good.
Maybe a couple $1,000 he lost, but he was able to recuperate everything. So that is actual today, real life happening. So very good that you point that out.
Yeah.
So
one thing, the most important thing that everyone could take away from my piece of this segment is that whenever you receive your wiring instructions, make sure the escrow sends them secure and only accept it from escrow, and even call the escrow company. Ask your agent, hey, what's this guy's phone number? Let me call him up. And, that's the most important thing right now.
Absolutely. Okay, so we got the secure deposit in, and now what happens? Because, escrow takes, I think for a residential, it takes maybe 30 to 40 days, and commercial real estate usually takes 60 days for a transaction to close. What happens during that time with escrow? What are they doing?
Great question, Jesus. Escrow prepares supplemental escrow instructions, basically putting in our general terms and putting basically the collateral of the agreement, puts it together, and sends out the opening escrow package to the seller and to the buyer. The buyer will have their documents in there, and it'll have escrow instructions. It'll ask us who the lender is going to be. Usually we'll send a copy of the prelim that we get from Jim Medina.
What does prelim mean? Because that's
a prelim is a preliminary title report.
There you go. Yeah.
And that was the document which we get from title, which tells us what's of record on the property. Mm-hmm. So we let the buyer know what items are against the property. Doesn't say that the buyer is going to buy it with all those liens and encumbrances on the property, but it just means that they'll know what we have to clean up.
Absolutely. Good. And is that process hard to get those things off, or what's the most difficult case you saw? And I'll give you my most difficult case. That was very interesting, but go for it.
The most difficult case is when there is a private lender and maybe they passed on and they never recorded a reconveyance. A reconveyance is the item which actually removes the lien on a property. For example, let's say Aunt Edith gave $50,000 to their niece, and they recorded a deed of trust saying, hey, to the world, this owner owes originally $50,000 to Aunt Edith. Mm-hmm. So, and let's say the owner pays Aunt Edith 10 years down the line, but Aunt Edith never records what's called a reconveyance to let the public know, hey, I've been paid in full and I'm no longer owed any money. Let's remove this lien from the property. So then we have to, as escrow, try to do some research and find out what we can do to try to get that lien eliminated.
Absolutely, yeah. It's funny you say that. I sold an apartment building. I think it was a 60-unit apartment building in Koreatown, and same thing happened. But this was a lender. It was maybe, I think, $200,000 recorded against the property, and the lender went under. It was a defunct company.
Oh.
So we tried to track him down, tried to track the lender down. No records, no nothing. Couldn't find anybody. So we were in a tough spot because we couldn't remove that lien. So believe it or not, there's bond companies that you can out there, and I was able to track one down. And what they do is they bond against that lien. So, and I'm sure you've dealt with this. So you pay.
Thank God for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they come in $200,000. I think it was maybe 10% or 20% of the cost of it, maybe 10 grand, 20 grand. They bond it, and the seller pays for it and says, look, if for some reason the guy comes out of the woodwork. What did we say? Aunt who was it?
Aunt Edith.
Aunt Edith comes up and says, hey, you guys owe me money. If she comes out of the woodwork and says that, the bond company says, okay, we'll pay that $200 lien and satisfy her, and it goes away. But with that bond, it secures it, so that can be removed from title. The seller is secured that, hey, if they come around, it's paid for, and they can move forward. So that was the hardest one I did, and that's, you learn by experience. That was one of those experiences that were, is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Okay, so everything
Thank
is
God for the
removed.
bonding company.
Yeah, they're out there, and that's how they earn their business. So we check out title. Everything can be removed. What else happens during that? They send their documents back to you. They're opening escrow docs.
They send their documents back to us, and we could DocuSign it. Nowadays, if we were able to use DocuSign, we could, always, if anything needs to be notarized for a seller, for example, one of the documents which we will eventually need is a grant deed. Mm-hmm. We could have a notary sent to their house. They could sign in their freedom of their own living room, and they get notarized, and they help them complete documents. They send them back during this time. Usually, if the buyer is getting a loan, most sales do include loans. Escrow will coordinate during the process with the loan broker or the lender, and we will give the lender some documents that they need, some information they need, estimates, pricing, and the lender will take their time on their end to work on getting the buyer, hopefully get closer to loan documents, verifying their information. And that process takes a little bit of time, especially with commercial properties. So you always want to make sure you have your agent, your loan broker, getting on top of everything at the beginning. Don't bring them in midway through the escrow like some people do, thinking it's going to take 2 days to get it done, because it takes a lot of time for them to do it.
Yeah, they move at their own speed, and rightfully so, because they're dotting their I's and crossing their T's, making sure that the loan that they're going to issue, everything is in order, and that it's going to go smooth. So they take their time to make sure that everything is kosher, for lack of better words, that everything is good to go on the close of escrow. And then what happens? Okay, so here's something important too. Maybe who handles the signing of those loan documents?
So the escrow coordinates the documents. They get the loan documents from the lender, and then the escrow company will contact. Well, we would let you know. We would let the agents know. Okay, hey, we have loan documents. We're going to coordinate getting the buyer signed up, and we'd either ask the agent or we'd ask the buyer directly. Where do you want us to do the signing? Would you like to come into escrow? Would you like us to send a traveling notary? What would you like? And we will do it at the buyer's convenience. But we do want to try to get that done as soon as possible. And one important piece of information that is sometimes missed, we don't want surprises, meaning your loan is given to you subject to everything being the same. You shouldn't go out and buy a new car at this time. Don't get fired from your job at this time. Don't start moving. Don't do anything that could affect your credit or your income.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because you don't want to do these, because it'll require the lender to reevaluate everything again. But if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But don't say, I'm going to buy a car right after I signed loan documents. And it's actually happened where they were signing loan documents. I think maybe I should go buy a car. I said, don't buy it now. If you do it, first tell your lender.
That's great advice. Once again, we have Hami Gabayan, Capital Trust Escrow, Senior Escrow Officer and owner of Capital Trust. And you could reach him at capitaltrustescrow.com or at 310-273-0100. Once again, 310-273-0100. And it's funny you say that. It was very interesting. I think you handled the escrow on this with the gym on. And what happened is 2 days before we close escrow, the seller decides to move the property from his personal name, him and his wife's name, to a trust. 2 days before. And I asked her, what are you doing? You can't do that. And it was a mad scramble to get everything in. And I have a great story. Jim Medina, we met with the attorney that did the trust. We were able to figure it out. The day before, I have Jim on Ventura Boulevard. I'm at the attorney's office. He's got his car warmed up right on the sidewalk, emergency hazard lights on, and I'm running down the stairs, and I'm handing the documents to Jim with the window open. I'm like, go, Jim, go handle it. And we're able to close the escrow, but it does happen. You think everything is good, but you have to make sure that everything is in order and make aware the clients of that not to make any changes or material changes.
Right.
So
and
very
if you're
interesting.
going to do anything big, you have to tell your agent. For example, a big one is if a tenant decides to vacate, I recommend the landlord if you're in the middle of escrow, don't go and just sign a new lease without telling and consulting with your agent.
Yeah.
Please call Jesus. He will guide you to the right.
Absolutely.
Make the right decision.
And I've dealt with that many times. That's very interesting. Okay, so everything is good. We have signed loan documents. The documents go back to you. What happens after that?
We send the docs to the lender. The lender takes about a day or so or 2 days to review the documents. At the same time, we'll ask the buyer to bring in their remaining deposit, the difference between the loan amount and the purchase price. We'll ask them to bring it in plus the closing costs, so it's going to be a little bit more. We will always provide you with an estimated closing statement once you sign loan documents so you know how much money you need to wire in. Again, please use those safe, secure wiring instructions which you used before. We have not changed our wiring instructions. We won't change our wiring instructions, so don't think so we want you to know that those wiring instructions stay the same.
Yeah, if it says Jesus Henao Campaign District Saugus, don't send it there. That wasn't me.
Yeah, that'll go wrong. That's the wrong way to go.
Okay, so they get their deposit in. Everything is good. You look at a question for you. I've always wondered about this.
Sure.
When the wet signature comes in from the loan documents they sign, do you scan that and send it? Or is that actually overnighted, FedEx, UPS, whatever, U.S. Postal? Is it
Great
sent
question.
in that way?
It's always up to the lender how they want the documents in order to fund the loan. Our goal is to give them what they want in the manner that they want it in order to be able to fund the loan. Some lenders will take a scanned copy from escrow, will scan it and send it over to the lender, and they'll review and they'll be fine with it and say, escrow, send us the originals after the close of escrow. Some lenders say they need the originals before they could even fund the loan. So they don't even care if we scan and email to them. So every lender is different. We always like the first one where we just get to scan it over to them because that makes the ball rolling faster.
Absolutely.
And during this time, one of the things now escrow does after we send documents to the lender is we ask the seller to give us all their documents. We want to make sure that we have everything we need from the seller. It's kind of like a balancing act where we're trying to get everything from everyone. And once the seller gives us a copy, gives us the original grant deed, and it has to be notarized, and you have to go from a notary public, or escrow will help coordinate getting you a notary. We'll help you coordinate with the notary, and you send us the originals. We could either prepay a FedEx slip, or you could come into escrow and send it back to us. We don't ever want you to send a grant deed by regular U.S. mail. We love the U.S. mail, been around forever, but having it tracked is always better. It's always recommended.
Absolutely. All right, Hami, we're up against the commercial break, so what we're going to do is we're going to break for now. I want you to stay on because we like to give a little advice for people getting into the business and young people out there. So, and we'll just wrap up escrows on when we come back. Once again, this is Jesus Henao. I have Hami Gabayan from Capital Trust Escrow Online, and this is the Commercial Hour.
Green Thumb International, your lawn and garden professionals, have the widest variety of shrubs, flowering plants, and garden supplies in the Santa Clarita Valley. Water when the soil is dry, not before, then water deeply. The deeper the water, the deeper the roots. Plants also will develop a greater tolerance to dry spells if watered infrequently. On Newhall Avenue in Old Town Newhall near Sierra Highway, Green Thumb puts the green in your thumb.
There's an important meeting you need to hold away from the office. The in-laws are coming to town.
Uh-oh.
A major client is visiting Santa Clarita. Your husband's brother is about to visit.
And his 4 kids?
La Quinta knows life in Santa Clarita can be stressful, so your guests can wake up on the bright side. Meetings can run smoothly, and even your mother-in-law will squeeze out a compliment. La Quinta Inn and Suites on the Old Road, just south of Lyons. Call about their special Santa Clarita discounts. 286-1111.
The Santa Clarita Artists Association has a new gallery in downtown Newhall on 6th Street between Main and Railroad, right across from the Canyon Theater Guild. The gallery features our members' paintings, sculptures, and one-of-a-kind handcrafted gift items. Whether you're an art lover, buyer, or an artist wishing to join, visit our website at santaclaritaartist.org, come to our free monthly meetings at Barnes & Noble, or stop by the gallery. For upcoming events and exhibits, check us out at santaclaritaartist.org. We make visual art visible.
Hometown station.
KHTS AM 1220 and the new 98.1 FM.
All right, we're back on the commercial hour. This is Jesus Henao, Leola Commercial. We talk real estate here. Know your city. Live the American dream. We have Hami Gabayan from Capital Trust Escrow Online, and we've been talking escrow, so we're going to wrap that up from the last segment. So everybody's money is in, paperwork is in, you have all the documents. What happens after that?
Great. Now I sit down and I review the file, make sure that all the conditions have been met and all the documents are accurate and they've been signed. If we had any, we need to also, the buyer has to get insurance. Mm-hmm. So they maybe ask the agent, ask Jesus, who do they recommend, or do they have a family member who sells insurance, or anyone that they trust that sells insurance?
Is that property insurance or title insurance?
That's property insurance.
Oh, and we had somebody on last week, wasn't it? We talked about insurance. Yeah, we had John Light from State Farm on, and we talked about insurance. So we called John, and he's like, yes, we can get insurance. It's good. He sends you the, what does he do? You call him, you talk to him, how does that work?
We contact him. The buyer provides us their information. We contact John. John gives us the evidence of insurance. The lender will need that as well, and we'll pay for that insurance from the escrow funds that we're going to ask the buyer to put into escrow at the close of escrow. So at the close of escrow, so then we get the insurance. Then the lender has everything they need. At that point, we'll ask the lender to fund the loan, which means they're going to wire their money to the title company.
Secure wire.
And at that point, we're already going to have the buyer's money. All the then once we have everything A through Z, we will ask the title company to record all the documents that we need to be documented. So
what does that mean, record the documents?
Great question. So the title company is going to transfer title the next day. So the day before, we have to make sure we have everything. So presuming we have everything today, which is Monday, we're going to ask the lender to fund today. Once we have everything, then escrow will contact title and ask them to close escrow the next day, which means that we'll ask them today to close escrow for Tuesday, which is tomorrow. Title will then, tomorrow morning, record the grant deed. We'll record the deed of trust, and at that point, the title would be transferred from the seller to the buyer, where all the liabilities and risks and rewards then transfer to the buyer at that point, which also includes the rents that'll belong to the buyer at that point. And once we get now it all records at 8 o'clock in the morning. So once we get confirmation or recording, escrow and title needs to wait from the county to do their thing, which is record the documents. They go in and they physically stamp the files. They give it an instrument number, and that instrument number is proof that title is transferred. And once those instrument numbers are given, the title company can then provide title insurance for the property.
Got it. So let me ask, is it really like they have like 5 sheets of paper and they go in there, they wait in line, and they stamp it there, give them the instrument number, and they're out? You figure with technology today, that could probably run so much quicker and smoother. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, and they are jumping on that technology. I think a lot of these title companies have tapped into a scan. They would scan the documents, an instrument number will be produced, and then they're able to get quicker confirmations, which is great. I love it. More and more title companies are doing that.
Yeah, I'm an older guy, but believe me, for people my age, there's guys that I talk to, they're like out of technology. They can't even handle texting. I'm the opposite. I'm all in. I have the iPad. I got the computer. I have the Android phone. I mean, I have so much technology. I don't even pay for cable. I have a streaming TV at home. I'm like,
wow.
I'm all in.
Wow.
I love technology. Everything that's technology, give it to me. I love it. I'm not afraid to spend money on it because I think that's the future, and I like the ease of it.
Yeah. So you're the first to jump on that, and not everyone feels comfortable to do that, but that's the age we're living in. It's technology driven.
The crazy thing is a fax. I have a fax line because I have clients that are older and they want to fax, but I'm thinking, why are you faxing me anything? I mean, they fax it to me, but it goes to my computer. Right to it. And DocuSign, nobody today wants a wet signature. You mentioned that earlier today. Everybody DocuSigns for me.
Yeah.
A contract, DocuSign. Send it to me, DocuSign. It's the first thing they ask. So yeah, that's the way it's gone. So you get an insert number, it records, and then what happens? How do people know that the property's transferred now?
And then we know because the document is recorded, and escrow will notify all the parties and the agents. And at that point, title is transferred, escrow is closed.
Mm-hmm.
Escrow is then going to disperse all the proceeds to all the parties, to the agents, to everyone that that was supposed to get paid. And the payoff is also done from the title company. Mm-hmm. So the old lien that was on title, they get paid off.
Mm-hmm.
So that way the title company can give the insurance that the buyer is buying the property free and clear of any liens and encumbrances, subject to the agreement.
Yeah. That's great. I would say that escrow is very important, and to have a good escrow officer, again, Hami Gabayan online with Capital Trust Escrow, to have somebody that knows what they're doing, that has experience, and I love that you have trust in there in your name of the company, because you need somebody that you can trust to handle the escrow. So thank you so much for that. That's how escrow works. And again, I recommend if you're looking to sell or buy, call me, and I'm going to obviously direct you over to Hami once we open up escrow. But before we close the show, I wanted to ask you, what advice do you have out there for the young adult that's graduated high school, he's in college, and we talk real estate. They see guys like Donald Sterling, Donald Trump. It's funny, both those guys' first name is Donald, by the way. You see all these big players that own real estate. They're very wealthy, well-to-do. What advice do you got them that want to get into the business? What do you recommend to them? You're out of high school, and they're looking like, what do I do?
First of all, save money. Second, go to an agent that's representing the seller and ask him to represent you.
No. Wait, hold on. Let me stop you. I'm asking for recommendations for the young guy getting out of high school, going into college. What advice do you give him if he wants to pursue a career in real estate?
Learn the area that you want to pursue, or work for someone. The best way to do it is to work for someone. Work for someone, learn everything you can, ask questions. Schooling just gives you just the tools to know that you know nothing.
That's true.
That's all it means. It just gives you a diploma to say, hey, I have a diploma here that says I know nothing, but I know that I know nothing.
Got it.
And from there, you jump and get a job and you learn.
Fantastic.
And you learn and you do your best.
Perfect.
No matter what it is.
Yeah. Do your best. Work hard. Once again, thank you very much, Hami, for coming on the show.
My pleasure, Jesus. Thank you very much for having me. This is great. I think this is great information for a lot of buyers and sellers.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Once again, thank you again. This is the Commercial Hour with Jesus Henao, Leola Commercial on the Hometown Station. Stay tuned for next week. We have more information on what's going on in your city. Take care. Thank you again, Hami.
Thank you.
You're going places, and